Welcome to Silly Builders, the YouTube channel where we show you home renovations from a homeowner's perspective. I like to preface each episode by letting our viewers know that we're not professionals by any means. The purpose of this channel is to show that for anyone comfortable and willing, a home renovation can just be a DIY project. Today we're talking windows, light switches, and MLV. Oh my. This is why you hire professionals.
Alright! So our first stop for installing our new window, we're going to take out our window stops. They basically just keep the window held in the frame. You want to be really careful to start on one end and work your way down to the other so you don't break them, because our first window we weren't very careful with these and we broke them. Now we've got to get more, so save yourself some time and some hassle. Keep these in good shape. Little by little. There's one. So if you just go right above your first staple here, it will kind of pry that out. There we go. Just repeat this way. It looks like prying towards the window is the way to go, not away from it. So pry this way, and it comes out a lot easier.
Staples. Chris Stapleton.
More of an Office Max kind of guy myself, but
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that we've got... Wait. Okay, so now that we've pulled out all the stops, what's left is this whole window is kind of one configuration tied into the tracks. There's one track on this side that we'll pull out, and then there's one track on this side. Once we start kind of wedging them in, it'll loosen up the whole kind of configuration there, and we can start to work the window out. So really those stops are what holds it into place on this side, and once you have those pulled, it can kind of like freely move, but this one's been in here for a long time, so we're gonna have to kind of work it out a little bit. There.
So the kind of window we'll be installing today is a replacement window, as opposed to a new construction window, which has a flange on the outside. The new construction basically assumes that you don't have your molding and all your exterior trim and all that up yet, so you can put it straight up against the sheathing and screw it into the flange. But this, however, fits right in. It just shoves up to the outside molding that's hanging off here. This basically holds it in. So we'll just put it in here, and then we'll put our stops on, and it'll be held between the outside molding and the inside stop, and that holds the window in. So let's get started.
So now that the old window's taken out and we're left with this big frame, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry fit our replacement window. So we're gonna put this up into here, make sure that it fits. We're gonna shim it and level it. We'll go over that in a second, to make sure that everything sets right. And then we're gonna pull the window back out. We'll apply the flashing tape, which we'll go over, the silicone glue around the outsides of the front stops, and then we'll put the window back in, screw it into place, and then try to make it look pretty, like me.
So we've got our window dry fitted. We figured out where all of our shims are gonna go. Got it level, it's nice and tight. So now we're gonna add our flashing here. It's just a weatherproof adhesive tape. It's gonna go around the edge of this window sill frame here. And this is how we're gonna measure it. I mean, you could, you know, get your links and all that, but could you hold this?
Yeah, let me give you a hand.
Okay, so we're just gonna go around this edge here. I'm gonna hold this. And can I hold that razor blade real quick?
Yeah. Actually, can you get this in?
Gonna start by laying down our first piece of tape here, putting it on the bottom. Can be a little tough. There we go. That looks good. Move that corner out. That is just absolutely a sight to behold here.
Yeah, I'll take the bacon, egg, and cheese with an unsweet tea and seasoned fries.
Seasoned fries?
So now that we've got our waterproof flashing, Pat's gonna go ahead and add a couple beads of silicone glue.
Now, we lift our window and put it in place.
So we've got the window in place. We're breaking off the shims right now. Now we need to kind of fill in any little gaps that are around the window with some silicone glue. So we're gonna waterproof it up.
There goes the foam. Here comes the foam. So as you can see, our sill here is on a slight angle, which leaves a gap between the bottom of the window and the sill on the outside. But the window comes with this nice little vinyl piece here. It's a little bit long the way it comes. So what we'll do, stick it in there. Make a little mark where we want to cut it. Then we'll just take our razor blade and chomp down on it. Probably not the safest way to do this.
I'll have a 4-piece Supreme, seasoned fries, and an unsweet tea. Service here sucks.
One moment. That just cleans up the outside of your window. Looks a lot nicer. We'll probably put a bead of silicone around the edge here. Seal it up. You like what? You like that?
I like what
You
I
saw
see.
that?
I saw it. So just a quick recap for the viewers at home. We took out the old window, we dry fit it, and then we shimmed it to make sure that it would fit, and then we could get it level. We took it back out, we added the flashing, we added some silicone to waterproof it, and we fit it into place, screwed it in, and then we added some spray foam insulation all around the edges. So now we're going to let that dry and let it settle, and we've got a brand new window. So while we're waiting for the window to dry, we're going to change paces, come over here to a nasty old switch that we've been really excited to get rid of. We just had some new dimmer switches come in, so we're going to go ahead and put those on. I have to go cut the power because we're messing with electrical thingies, and you should always cut the power when you're messing with electrical. So I'm going to go over to the breaker box and cut the power, and we'll get started on the new switches.
Alright, so we've got our breaker switch cut off. You do want to make sure that your electrical is not working, so I've got my Joule here. I'm just going to plug it into my Joule charger here in the wall plug, and what do you know? No power. Alright. And I've already started removing these flathead screws. Nothing to it. It's just little screws you just pull off here for this faceplate. Sitting them over here. Well, this is trash now. So.
What you working on, Pat?
I'm just installing our new switches here. Our new dimmer switches, that is.
Man, isn't that exciting?
Make sure none of this is hot. These wires are going to be wrapped around these screws, so if you just straighten them out, those hooks will come right out. A little bit of pressure. Alright. And I hung my cables out corresponding to their screws, so this bottom one here goes on this bottom screw for the ground. This red here goes on this screw, this white goes on this screw, and this black goes on this screw. That's it. So the common is the black wire.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm gonna flip this switch, and Pat's gonna flip that switch, and we're gonna see if it works. You ready? Here we go. Alright, he's not screaming, so let's go in. You didn't scream.
Let's do the honors.
Alright. The switch is down. The dimmer is down. We're gonna flip the switch on.
Yeah!
They've turned on the dim. Here it goes.
Wow.
Wow. And then he dims it back down.
Is that all the way down?
And you can kind of just do this with it if you're just hanging out at your house by yourself.
Kind of do that for fun. Tell me when you think I turned it up.
All right. Yeah. You turned it up.
Yeah.
You
All right,
did.
I'm gonna go down.
All right.
You see that?
Yeah, I can look right at it.
You look right at. Oh.
Oh, I can't
That's
look
up,
back at it and turn it back down.
Is that up? That's down.
All the way back down.
That's down all the way.
I'm blind. So let's talk MLV. MLV stands for mass loaded vinyl, and it's this stuff right here. It's used for soundproofing. Since I'm turning this space into a studio, I want to make sure that it's soundproofed really well. So I've bought a ton of it so far. It's £1 per square foot, so it's insanely heavy. I buy it in I think the roll is 100 square feet, and my last shipment I got 5 rolls, so it was like 500 pounds. Crazy heavy, but it's actually pretty durable, pretty easy to work with, and you just kind of staple it onto the wall just like that. We've been kind of doing, I think they're 4 feet wide, and we've been doing 8-foot sections roundabout so that it goes from the ceiling to the floor. So we're gonna show you guys how we hang some MLV. Let's get started. My buddy Jeff likes to cut these into manageable pieces. I say, works harder, not smarter.
Who's Jeff?
I'll tell you about him later.
Okay.
One thing I'd recommend, if you're stapling MLV, get a better stapler than we have. Ours is called the Power Shot, and we had high hopes for the Power Shot. The Power Shot's kind of letting us down a little bit. Staples aren't really sinking in, so get a good stapler when you're stapling in MLV.
These staples also don't have a jagged edge like some of them do, so that's probably not helping them.
Know your staples, know your stapler. And then don't skimp on the staples. I think per sheet we put about 30 staples in them, so use as many staples as you need to because it's heavy and it wants to come down. So with the MLV, we're using it on every wall and the ceiling. So it's gonna take a lot, but yeah, we're MLVing every wall and the ceiling. Extra soundproofing. Thank you guys for sticking around for another episode of Silly Builders. I know we were kind of all over the board today. We wanted to do a few simple projects that weren't like building a wall or setting a door, anything too crazy. We wanted to kind of take a step back, do a few simple projects that needed to be done. We needed to change a window, we needed to switch the light switches out, and we needed to hang some MLV. We wanted to kind of bring you guys along with us and show you just kind of some of the menial tasks that we have to do around here. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and then be sure to hit the like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out.